One of the biggest fears next to dying is that your partner cheats on you, or that's like the two biggest fears.
My deadly fear of frogs begs to differ. Speak for yourself, cuck. Hey Girl Scout, what's shakin'? How have you been? I personally have been feeling great lately, so of course I had to check myself by scouring the internet for some soul-destroying content to balance things out. And my god, did we sober up quickly when we found good old Adina Rivers injecting her venom onto social media. I want you guys to get the full picture of who this chick is, so today we're going to watch her recent video where she gets her boyfriend to talk about their relationship now that she's cheated on him multiple times and manipulated him into an open relationship. Charmer, eh? I want to say let's just jump right into it, but she takes ages to start the actual video and fills the first minute and a half with cringe TikTok footage of her dancing and asking for subs so her content can be pushed onto more people. Because obviously this is the role model we need headlining our explore pages. Don't you worry. I sifted through the bullshit so you guys only have to endure the juiciest bits of it. Call me selfless. I know. Let's just get this over with.
It's also a journey for me. Yeah, it's not that in all these years I never had desires, I never had fantasies. Yeah, so I'm trying to focus less on what she does. Yeah, because ultimately if she's happy, it's great. Why should I limit her? Yeah, my ambition is to not limit my partner. Yeah, so I try to focus on more what it is that I want, what it is that I desire. Yeah, and by focusing on that, maybe the whole other story might resolve itself. Yeah.
But what if your desire is to not share your girlfriend with other dudes? Then what? This is truly a paradox rivaling the works of Socrates and Plato. Honestly, our boy is following a classic example of utilitarianism if we're going to get philosophical here. By making the choice to stay with this parasite of a woman, he's saving the greater good from enduring a relationship with her. And here I was thinking high school philosophy class was a waste of time.
Does Oliver have had sex with another woman other than you?
Yeah, of course. So I think for 12 years it didn't happen. Also because I was so stuck in my conditioning, that it was the wrong thing and not the good thing to do. And over the last couple of years, I absolutely allowed myself to have that experience with different women. So the answer is yes. Yeah, it's likely to happen again. Yeah.
Don't say that. Please don't say it. I don't have to think about it.
Ah yes, nothing says healthy relationship like forcing an open relationship after you cheat on someone and then being upset when the other person follows the rules. If you can't even hear about your partner being with someone else, maybe it's a bit too elaborate of a plan for you to justify your own cheating. Just a thought.
Have you ever felt like breaking up for good would have been the right choice?
Yes.
What? Yeah, I never thought that.
So yeah, of course there were moments where I thought I'm done with this. Yeah,
Okay.
I left the house, went somewhere else, moved some places for a while, and I'm sure those moments will come again. Yeah, it's as I said, it's like the stock market; it goes up and down.
Now, I'm no econ pro here, but isn't the point of the stock market to predict highs and lows and to know when to sell to avoid losing all your profit? Or, in this case, knowing when the stocks won't ever increase again and cutting your losses while you still have a fighting chance? If your gal is out here dancing in the sheets with her coworker and shows a pattern of constantly betraying you, it's safe to say that stock ain't climbing back up to anywhere near where other stocks could. With a drop like that, your dignity and self-esteem is at an all-time low and needs serious managing to recover. So, in my humble opinion, I would suggest pulling out, which seems to be too late judging by her stomach, and to go invest what you have left into something new and with more potential to grow, aka a new woman who you can trust. If you're confused by my metaphor, don't worry, I am too, and instead of trying to make sense of it, we can just keep watching the cringe.
What I have learned is that there are many people that I know as well, that are in a monogamous relationship, but under the hood, there's a lot of fantasies, a lot of thoughts, a lot of suppressed desires. At the end of the day, you only have one life, and you better make the most of it. There will be phases where you go more inwards, where you maybe not interested at all in other people, not even your partner. Then there will be times where you're very focused on your partner. Then there will be times where maybe somebody else will share the space.
The fact that this guy so casually talks about switching attention onto someone else as though that's normal and healthy is super unsettling to me. I get that you might find other people attractive or whatever, but if you find yourself dreaming about being with someone else while in a relationship to the point where you feel like you have to act on it and can't just accept it as a thought, chances are the relationship isn't the one for you. Maybe there's something I'm missing here, but the thought of only committing to someone when it's convenient and interesting to you seems so unbelievably self-centered to me. How deep can a relationship be if you're only willing to want them when they're useful to you and not want to bother if they can't fulfill all of your needs every second of every day?
What would you do if Oliver gets another woman pregnant? What would I do? At the point where I'm standing right now, I would totally accept it and I would absolutely stay with Oliver. Where I stand right now, it's not the easiest to deal with mentally, but I know that where I want to head to, I would definitely want to support and to be there, and because I just know that I wouldn't want to not have Oliver in my life, and that would mean that I would adjust to whatever situation there is, and I know there is no situation that cannot be overcome. It's always the mind that holds us back. And you become the actual partner to your partner that is necessary, like a real lifetime partner where there's nothing that can happen that actually can destroy your relationship.
Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say what we're all thinking here. Cuck. She's a full-on cuck. I'm shocked, because Reddit really painted them to be these neckbeard Discord mods who are so desperate for some action they're willing to sacrifice their dignity for a chance at watching their girlfriend get railed by the guy that slid into her DMs after subbing to her OnlyFans. This chick must have a deep subconscious self-hatred or something to delude herself into thinking this way. Why would you ever want to reach the point where you're okay with absolutely anything your partner does? It's like the opposite of finding your self-worth and setting boundaries you're comfortable with. It's like this weird backwards thing where you teach yourself to settle for whatever treatment you're given and you have to endure it to prove your love or else you're worthless to them. Do you see how messed up it sounds when I word it like that? Newsflash, you shouldn't be there for someone unconditionally if it hurts you more than it adds good things to your life. Sure, people are going to need support where you might not get anything in return for a while, but that's usually temporary and the person wants to return the favor when you're going through it too. If you just sit there and get treated like dog shit and act like you're mightier than other people for being so loyal that you'll sacrifice your happiness for it, that's called stupidity, martyrdom, low self-esteem. Shall I go on?
But I'm just not patient enough to lay in bed for a very, very long time, for hours, and lay in each other's arms. And that's been something that's been bothering me for a long time, because I felt like I'm not giving him what he desires, and I have to change now, I have to be different. And he actually came back and he said, like, this woman really enjoyed to, cuddle with me and lay in my arms and all of these things. So it made me feel inferior at first, but I'm starting to understand that it's beautiful if you get this somehow from another person, and it doesn't mean that it makes me less. It just means I have completely different aspects to give.
People only change when they want to change, and this woman would rather her man go find someone else to cuddle him rather than try to compromise a little. Bruh.
Because you felt betrayed, probably, after our relationship.
Of course, quite a few times, actually. And
do you see that smile after he says that she's hurt him a few times? How can you possibly sit there and think that's funny? Like, oops, I accidentally put salt in your coffee instead of sugar. Oops, I forgot to put the ice cream in the freezer and it melted. Oops, I accidentally had multiple affairs while I was in a committed relationship with you.
I have kind of started to see Adina a little bit like a kid. Yeah, a kid. Of course, kids make mistakes, yeah, and they don't make the mistakes because they want to hurt you. They don't lie to you because they want to hurt you. They just make mistakes because they're kids, yeah, and they're learning.
Not the best way to phrase things, my dude. Seeing her like a kid and then proceeding to knock her up is a little bit Nazi, if I'm honest with you. Plus, the difference between her and a kid is that she's a fully formed adult who should be learning to own up to her mistakes, learning from the mistakes themselves, and to change her behaviors. But instead, she cheated more than once, bullied you into an open relationship, and twisted the situation so much that you're Stockholmed into thinking she's doing this out of love.
I'm trying to be more a kid again. Yeah, that's actually something I'm striving for. I've become too much of an adult, I think. Yeah, and my goal is to become again more childlike.
You should be an adult. You have responsibilities. You have children. Being a child again means gaming with the boys after you put your son to bed, not acting like a slutty teenager and sleeping with whoever you feel like without thinking of the repercussions on the people around you. And even if the intention isn't to hurt anyone, it can still happen, and it doesn't mean that you aren't at fault just because you didn't mean to. It's like those people who say, "I'm sorry you feel that way," after doing something to upset you. It makes me want to kick them in the balls, and while they're writhing in pain, say, "I'm sorry you feel that way," and see how they respond. How's your faith in humanity doing? If it ain't broke yet, I'll just add that this chick has over 1 million subscribers. Sorry. If there's any salvaging it, the like to dislike ratio is more negative than positive, so at least you can try to believe that people don't actually look up to her and watch her solely for cringe fodder. Hopefully. Honestly, I can't believe how toxic these two are, and while I think he's an idiot, I feel bad for this guy. She really brainwashed him into this weird self-absorbed narcissism cult where empathy doesn't matter and you can do whatever you want as long as you're happy, even if others get hurt. And in return, you have to sacrifice your boundaries and let other people hurt you so that they can feel better about themselves. Seems like a lot of work when you could just put in a bit of effort to meet in the middle and avoid hurting each other, eh? She clearly doesn't like that he's with other women, but she has to play the game because if she doesn't, then she has to admit to him and herself that her cheating was not okay and she did something wrong. But that's hard, so instead, she's going to silently resent him for years until one of them reach a breaking point and commit second-degree murder. I say 3 years. Place your bets in the comments. Anyways, that's all from me. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll link my socials in the description so you can check me out there too. Hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Thanks for watching.